DFW FCA's Faith in Sports. I'm Chris Schneider. Welcome to the DFW Fellowship of Christian Athletes weekly radio show, Faith in Sports, brought to you by the 40th annual Tom Landry Open Tee-Off Breakfast. It's January 12th. Dallas Cowboy great Cliff Harris will be joining us for the fun. The breakfast is free, the company is great, and the cause is even better. Join us for the 40th annual Tom Landry Open Tee-Off Breakfast. Well, welcome to our Christmas edition of Faith in Sports. Our featured guest on the show today is one of Coach Bill Parcells' guys, former Cowboy and Miami Dolphin linebacker Akin Ayodele.
I could go to the Word to keep me strong during that time, man. I remember I had an awesome game. It was versus Notre Dame, and my heart, was just feeling like I wish, like my siblings were here to see it, or I wish my mom could have seen it, and it's really escaping my mind right now, and I feel terrible. But it was a scripture that I remember I had read that week, and at the podium when I was talking to the media, it just poured out. It just poured out of me, and I teared up. But it just, having that in my life during that time when while I was in college, was strong, was helpful.
More from former NFL linebacker Akin Ayodele momentarily. Since it's Christmas, today we will also feature some Christmas stories from some of the DFW FCA area representatives, like Dr. David Fraze, the Director of Character Coaching in North Texas.
One of the greatest things that I love to do with my family is to sit under the Christmas tree and notice the lights. It's kind of awkward now because my kids are teenagers, but it started since they were born.
We will also hear from DFW FCA Northwest Dallas area representative Corey Largent.
She got put in the hospital about a week or so before Christmas, and she was there to about a week after Christmas. I guess really the reason why this has become such a memorable Christmas for me and my family is that we really focused on family. We were in the hospital together, helping each other out. Times were difficult, yes, but really were brought closer together through prayer, through comfort, and we really weren't distracted by some of the worldly things like buying presents.
Also joining us on the show today is the leader of FCA in North Texas, Rick Bowles, who sees an amazing year come to an end where the DFW FCA celebrated its 50th anniversary.
The impact of having 800 people, friends and family and community, coaches, wives, spouses come out and help us celebrate 50 years was a wonderful event. We are very thankful for Roger Staubach, for Bob Lilly, for Bob Brunig, and Coach Dan Reeves to give up of their time to be there as well.
More from the director of FCA in North Texas, Rick Bowles, a little later this half hour. Well, here it comes, DFW FCA's annual Weekend of Champions Middle School Camp, February 24th through the 26th. It's at Lakeview Camp in Waxahachie. Last year, over 200 young student-athletes gave their lives to Christ or rededicated their life to the Lord. You don't want your kids to miss this. It's the first DFW FCA camp of 2017, the Weekend of Champions for middle schoolers. Go to dfwfca.org and get all the information. Well, our featured guest on Faith in Sports today grew up in the DFW area. He was a star linebacker at Purdue, then became a starter in the NFL, playing for Hall of Fame coach Bill Parcells with both the Cowboys and the Dolphins. Akin Ayodele. Akin, Merry Christmas. Thank you for joining us here on the show today. So you grew up with the FCA being a big part of your life. Why is that?
I remember at times when, whether it was at practice or in the locker room, going through some of those FCA meetings, and some of what I got from it, I was able to use. And so, once again, just being an athlete itself, understanding there's so much more to that. And you're not just playing a sport just to play, but you're an example to the kingdom, like you're an example to the walk. And it built confidence so that, when somebody was doing wrong, I could say something, I could stand up. Or if I did need to bring somebody into my world, it gave me the confidence on how to approach them, on, what scriptures or what word to go into to show them, that example. And so I really do believe the importance of FCA and the impact that he has on young men, young women, young athletes.
We are talking with former Dallas Cowboy and Miami Dolphin linebacker Akin Ayodele. So FCA was important to you as a young athlete. It helped lead you to know Jesus Christ as your Savior. Have you been able to see over the years how that relationship has changed your life?
Oh, easily. And that whole story and relationship with those guys, and even just with my walk, it was funny because there would be times when I was at Wednesday Bible study or at the youth service, and I get to school on Thursday, and then they tell me something had happened or somebody had got in trouble. And it would be probably guys that more likely I would have been hanging out with, or, for example, just being able to make decisions and not fall into peer pressure. I made a conscious decision that I wasn't going to do drugs, I wasn't going to drink, I wasn't going to do certain things because I was going through this process, I was going through this walk with Christ, and so it just gave me confidence in the person that I wanted to be. I'm not saying it was easy, but it gave me confidence, in saying, okay, this is what I want, and this is what He has promised me. So if I can continue just to believe in that, I'll say no to this, and I'm going to say yes to that.
Have some favorite Bible scriptures that you rely on?
I have a few of them. Right now, it's Romans 12:3. I'm trying to think. There was one while I was playing college, and I can't think of it as of right now. It gave me courage during times. I went to Purdue University, and I'm very close with my family. And there were times when, for 2 years, I couldn't come home. I like to say back in my day, we didn't have cell phones or videos where you could, call home or see your family, my siblings. And so there was a time when, I was restricted to, being able to just find a phone to call home and just get, if it's for a day or whatever, and I didn't see my family. So the fact that I could go to the Word to keep me strong during that time, and I remember I had an awesome game. It was versus Notre Dame, and my heart, was just feeling like I wish, like my siblings were here to see it, or I wish my mom could have seen it. And it's really escaping my mind right now, and I feel terrible. But it was a scripture that I remember I had read that week, and at the podium when I was talking to the media, it just poured out. It just poured out of me, and I teared up. But it just, having that in my life during that time when, while I was in college, was strong, was helpful.
And now it's funny how, different scriptures hit you at different times, different times of your life. And now it's Romans 12:3, which is,
"And be not conformed to this world, but ye transformed by the renewing of your mind."
Former NFL star linebacker Akin Ayodele, thank you, sir. Up next, we will get some wonderful Christmas stories from some of the DFW FCA staff. We would love to connect with you. You can find us on Facebook at DFW FCA. Find us on Twitter at FCA DFW, and our website is dfwfca.org. This is the DFW Fellowship of Christian Athletes weekly radio show, Faith in Sports, brought to you by the annual Tom Landry Open Tee-Off Breakfast.
Well, Merry Christmas. This is Chauncey Franks. Oversee TCU Fellowship Christian Athletes. My wife and I and 3 kids would love to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year's.
It's hard to believe it's been 40 years, but it's just about time to start gearing up for the 40th annual Tom Landry Open Golf Tournament. DFW FCA will hold the annual TLO Tee-Off Breakfast January 12th. The breakfast is free to the public, and Dallas Cowboys Ring of Honor great Cliff Harris will be there to tell a few stories. Come join us for some fun, have a free breakfast, and help us celebrate one of the greatest coaches of all time and a great man of God. It's the Tee-Off Breakfast for the Tom Landry Open, Thursday, January 12th. Go to dfwfca.org for all the details.
Did you know that after a trip to an FCA sports camp in Estes Park, Colorado in 1962, Dallas Cowboys coach Tom Landry felt inspired to use his position as a coach to influence young student athletes. So in 1966, 50 years ago, Coach Landry helped launch the Fellowship of Christian Athletes in Dallas. Hi, I'm Rick Bowles, North Texas Director for the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and I'd like to ask you to tell us your FCA story. What impact did FCA have or is currently having on your life? Visit dfwfca.org for more information.
Here it comes. DFW FCA's annual Weekend of Champions Middle School Camp will be February 24th through the 26th at Lakeview Camp in Waxahachie. At last year's camp, over 200 young student athletes gave their lives to Christ or redirected their life to the Lord. Parents, you don't want your kids to miss this. The first FCA camp of 2017, the Weekend of Champions for middle schoolers. Go to dfwfca.org for all the information.
Merry Christmas. This is Coleman Maxwell, and I work with TCU FCA. My wife, Megan, and myself would like to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
I'm Chris Schneider. Welcome back to DFW FCA's Faith in Sports, brought to you by the annual Tom Landry Open Tee-Off Breakfast, January 12th. In just a moment, we will hear some special Christmas stories from some of the DFW FCA staff. We would like to thank you for your prayers and blessings for North Texas FCA. This ministry has over 16,000 student athletes attending after-school Bible clubs that we call FCA huddles. Over 600 volunteer coaches and teachers. Over 900 people volunteer for North Texas FCA in some way. And there's always something exciting going on with FCA in North Texas. So we'd love to have you join us. Go to dfwfca.org and get all the details. Well, since it's Christmas, we thought it would be fun to share some stories from some of the FCA staff. Why Christmas is so powerful and so special to them. Let's start off with Northwest Dallas area Representative Corey Largent. Corey, would you share with us one of your favorite Christmas stories?
Well, my favorite Christmas happened a couple years ago. We just had our first girl, Sadie Grace, and she was born December 9th. And about 10 to 12 days into, since she was here, she got sick. She got RSV, which is kind of the common cold for us, but it's really bad for newborns. Well, she got put in the hospital about a week or so before Christmas, and she was there to about a week after Christmas. And I guess really the reason why this has become such a memorable Christmas for me and my family is that we really focused on family. You know, we were in the hospital together, helping each other out. You know, times were difficult, yes, but really were brought closer together through prayer, through comfort, and we really weren't distracted by some of the worldly things like buying presents and making sure our house is perfect and, you know, all the dishes are done and all this, and we just got to love each other, be together, and spend time with our Lord Jesus Christ, and that was really the most memorable Christmas for me because of that.
Northwest Dallas area FCA Representative Corey Largent. Thank you, Corey. Dr. David Fraze is the Director of Character Coaches for FCA in North Texas. Dr. Fraze, can you share some special Christmas thoughts with us?
One of the greatest things that I love to do with my family is to sit under the Christmas tree and notice the lights. It's kind of awkward now because my kids are teenagers, but it started since they were born. We would just get underneath the tree and I'd ask them to talk about their favorite color of light. And then after that, we would talk about what they're thankful for. And we still do that. Again, it's awkward with teenagers, but it's one of the special things we look forward to is decorating the tree, sitting underneath it, and noticing all the beautiful colors. And it reminds us of Christmas past, but also helps us remember all the things we have to be thankful for, especially the gift of Jesus during this holiday season.
FCA's Dr. David Fraze. Thank you, sir. Coming up next, we will be joined by the Director of FCA in North Texas, Rick Bowles, who will tell us about the amazing year it has been as we have celebrated the 50th anniversary since Coach Tom Landry started the DFW FCA. Is God calling you to serve alongside a middle school or a high school coach in your area? DFW FCA is excited to announce our Character Coaching Initiative. Go to dfwfca.org and get all the information. This is the DFW Fellowship of Christian Athletes weekly radio show, Faith in Sports, brought to you by the annual Tom Landry Open Tee-Off Breakfast.
Hi, this is Corey Largent, the DFW FCA area rep in Northwest Dallas. My wife Jessica and our kids Caden and Sadie Grace would like to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you for your support and prayers for FCA in North Texas.
It's hard to believe it's been 40 years, but it's just about time to start gearing up for the 40th annual Tom Landry Open Golf Tournament. DFW FCA will hold the annual TLO Tee-Off Breakfast January 12th. The breakfast is free to the public, and Dallas Cowboys Ring of Honor great Cliff Harris will be there to tell a few stories. Come join us for some fun, have a free breakfast, and help us celebrate one of the greatest coaches of all time and a great man of God. It's the Tee-Off Breakfast for the Tom Landry Open, Thursday, January 12th. 12th. Go to dfwfca.org for all the details.
In 1966, Coach Tom Landry had the inspiration to start the Fellowship of Christian Athletes in Dallas. This year, Dallas-Fort Worth FCA is celebrating God's amazing impact on coaches and athletes during our 50th anniversary. Over 16,000 students and athletes are involved with FCA in North Texas. Nearly 500 coaches and teachers volunteer their time to influence student athletes. Visit dfwfca.org for more information, including how you can pick up some one-of-a-kind 50th anniversary products like caps, shirts, coffee mugs, and more.
Here it comes. DFW FCA's annual Weekend of Champions Middle School Camp will be February 24th through the 26th at Lakeview Camp in Waxahachie. At last year's camp, over 200 young student athletes gave their lives to Christ or redirected their life to the Lord. Parents, you don't want your kids to miss this. The first FCA camp of 2017, the Weekend of Champions for middle schoolers. Go to dfwfca.org for all the information.
This is David Fraze, the manager of character coaches for DFW FCA. And on behalf of my wife Lisa, my son Braden, and my daughter Shelby, we want to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Hello, this is Weldon Swan, the DFW FCA area rep in Northern Collin County. My wife Lisa and I, along with our children Elizabeth, Madeline, Jake, and Hayden, would like to wish you and yours a Merry Christmas and a blessed New Year. We truly appreciate your support and prayers for FCA in North Texas.
I'm Chris Schneider. Welcome back to DFW FCA's Faith in Sports, brought to you by the annual Tom Landry Open Tee-Off Breakfast, January 12th. We will be hearing from the man who heads up the Fellowship of Christian Athletes in North Texas, Rick Bowles, in just a moment, as we look back over an amazing 50th anniversary year. Now, if the Lord is leading you to be a part of the DFW FCA team, we would love to have you help us spread the news of Christ. Whether you're a parent, a business leader, a church leader, school administrator, coach, teacher, anyone who might be interested in making a difference in your community. FCA offers a whole lot of opportunities to serve, so go to dfwfca.org, get the details. We would love to have you on our team. So 2016 is coming to a close, and it has been quite a year for the DFW Fellowship of Christian Athletes chapter. 50 years ago, Tom Landry and an amazing group of people started up the Dallas chapter of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. So it's been a year-long celebration headed up by the leader of the North Texas FCA, Rick Bowles. Rick, Merry Christmas. Thank you for being here. Your 50th anniversary year coming to a close. It's been exciting. It's been exhausting. It's been a lot of things. And you had the biggest event recently with that 50th anniversary celebration dinner, and that was a big hit.
It was a lot of work, time, effort put into it, but the impact of having 800 people, friends and family and community, coaches, wives, spouses come out and help us celebrate 50 years was a wonderful event. We are very thankful for Roger Staubach, for Bob Lilly, for Bob Brunig, and Coach Dan Reeves to give up of their time to be there as well. The coaches and their spouses, we normally call that the Coaches Appreciation Dinner, but being our 50th, it was our 50th celebration dinner, but we were still able to acknowledge them, thank them. We have some wonderful sponsors that pay for these coaches and their spouses to attend this dinner. We give out Male Huddle Coach of the Year to Duran Collins in the Garland area, and Female Huddle Coach of the Year to Sue Husbands. She's up in Sanger, North Dallas, way North Dallas. Yeah. Able to give some awards out to these wonderful people who volunteer their time to oversee our huddle clubs. And then wonderful board member who oversees our Jim Sundberg Golf Tournament. Mark Biebenhauser won the Neil Jeffrey Leadership Award. We were able to honor Carolyn Allen, who is Coach Randy Allen's wife, Highland Park fame. She was our inaugural Alicia Landry Coach's Wife Impact Award recipient, and then honor a gentleman who passed away a year ago who made a big impact on my life and our staff's life and various other people, John Randalls, with the National FCA Hall of Champions award. And so his wife Kelly was there. So it was just an incredible evening.
So when you went into this 50th anniversary year, you put some plans together. You said, yeah, we want to celebrate. We want to do big things. Now that it's drawing to a close, you look back. Has it been what you wanted it to be?
Yes, it has. We had quite a few different events that each event allowed us to kind of talk a little bit about the history. Our Tom Landry Open golf tournament that we had in April, we surprised a gentleman who had volunteered for 50 years and still volunteers to this day, Ron Case. That was fun, get to highlight gentlemen like that, people like that volunteer. I mean, for 50 years, volunteered to help FCA through the golf tournaments and through, he served on the board at one time. That was fun. And then just our camps that we were able to do and various different things. We encourage our student athletes to give back in the months of November and December, and we call that FCA Gives Back. And so I don't know the total number yet, but we were pushing to have 50 of those community events where the kids go out and give back. From collecting money for coats or coats themselves for those that don't have it, to food drives and various different things. So it's been a very successful year.
So we look back at all the success, the incredible events that have happened in the last year, but you can't just look back. You have to start looking ahead to next year because time moves on. What do you have coming up in the months ahead?
Well, in January, we are kicking off. We have another big event. It's the 40th anniversary of the Tom Landry Open, and that's one of our major fundraisers. But it's more than just a fundraiser. It's an opportunity for the businessmen and women in the community to come together that like to play golf and have a great, fun tournament, but yet also learn more about FCA. But our Tom Landry Open, starting this year, is going to be officially hosted by Tim Brown. So we're going to get to continually honor him, but yet he's going to help us just get the word out, communicate with former and current players to be a part of FCA. So that's something that we're excited about. But the 40th anniversary of the Tom Landry Open is in April, and we do it at Stonebriar. You'll be hearing more about that, but it's in Frisco, Texas. But coming up January 12th is our tee-off breakfast. Now, if that's a fancy name, I came up with it. If it's terrible, someone else did. But we're going to tee it off, and we're going to start celebrating and planning for the 40th anniversary of the Tom Landry Open. That'll be at the Hope Center. It's free of charge. We'd love to have you come out. We just need you to sign up through our website and register. And Cliff Harris, great Dallas Cowboy, will be on a panel. We'll have a local coach and his wife, Bo and Josie Camacho. They're in the Mesquite area. They serve at our camps. They work with our huddle there. And they have an incredible knowledge of the influence that FCA has on athletes, but also on coaches and coaches' wives. So they'll be on the panel, and we'll have a former PGA golfer by the name of Rick Massingale will be on the panel. And then just to talk about the businessman's perspective and a board member's perspective, our national FCA chairman of our board, Bruce Graham, will be there. And Bill Jones of CBS 11 is going to be our MC. So it'll be a fun event, and that's January 12th.
That's the tee-off breakfast to start getting ready for the Tom Landry Open, and Cliff Harris will be there. And you've got some big names going to show up at the Tom Landry Open itself.
Yes. Currently we have Troy Aikman, who will be a special guest. He'll be on a panel, and then we are going to be announcing several other people that will be on that panel as well. And you don't have to be a really good golfer. If you like playing golf and you want to get a group of men and women together and enjoy Stonebriar, which is an incredible two-course, so we'll have 220 to 240 golfers out there. We have a luncheon. That's where the panel discussion will take place. Then we go out and play golf. We have a live auction. We have silent auction. We have raffles. It's just a fun event.
So if folks want to get involved, are you like at your limit with volunteers? Or you just don't need any more volunteers, or do you need volunteers?
We're looking for 100 new volunteers for the year of 2017. Right now we have anywhere from 800 to 900 volunteers, and you may say, well, that's plenty. Well, 400 to 500 of those are the coaches themselves that volunteer for our huddle groups. And so we need people from coming out and helping us plan the golf tournaments to actually being there that day and volunteering and helping various different opportunities there. We have 2 camps. We have We need men and women who want to serve on our local boards. We have staff that get anywhere from 5 to 15 volunteers to serve on a board that helps them do ministry from a volunteer basis and walks alongside them. So we could really use your help.
All right, so if somebody wants to get in touch with you, want more information about FCA, want to volunteer, how do they get in touch with you?
They can email me at rbowles, and that's RBOWLES at FCA.org. And you can also go to the website at DFWFCA.org.
That is Rick Bowles, the director of FCA in North Texas. Thank you, Rick, for an amazing 50th anniversary year. The Fellowship of Christian Athletes is touching millions of lives all over the world. The FCA is the largest sports ministry in the world. FCA has nearly 13,000 certified huddles in 47 different countries. Go to fca.org to find out how you can get involved. We would love to have you on our team. So coming up next, we'll tell you who the special guests will be joining us here on the show next week. That'll be the first day of 2017. This is DFW FCA's Faith in Sports, brought to you by the annual Tom Landry Open Tee-Off Breakfast.
Hi, this is Michael Santiago, the North Dallas Area Director, part of the North Texas FCA team. My wife Stephanie and our sons Drew and Aaron would like to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a very blessed New Year. Thank you for your support and prayers for FCA here in North Texas.
It's hard to believe it's been 40 years, but it's just about time to start gearing up for the 40th annual Tom Landry Open Golf Tournament. DFW FCA will hold the annual TLO Tee-Off Breakfast January 12th. The breakfast is free to the public, and Dallas Cowboys Ring of Honor great Cliff Harris will be there to tell a few stories. Come join us for some fun, have a free breakfast, and help us celebrate one of the greatest coaches of all time and a great man of God. It's the Tee-Off Breakfast for the Tom Landry Open, Thursday, January 12th. Go to dfwfca.org for all the details.
Here it comes. DFW FCA's annual Weekend of Champions Middle School Camp will be February 24th through the 26th at Lakeview Camp in Waxahachie. At last year's camp, over 200 young student athletes gave their lives to Christ or redirected their life to the Lord. Parents, you don't want your kids to miss this. The first FCA camp of 2017, the Weekend of Champions for middle schoolers. Go to dfwfca.org for all the information.
Just wanted to wish everybody a very, very Merry Christmas from Glenn Verba and my wife Terry, our kids Drew and Whitney. I'm the Northwest Texas FCA rep. Just hoping y'all have a blessed Christmas, and we want to thank y'all for the support of FCA in our area, and just may God bless you and your families.
I'm Chris Schneider. Thank you for joining us for DFW FCA's Faith in Sports radio show, brought to you by the 40th annual Tom Landry Open Tee-Off Breakfast. Our thanks to our special guests on the show today, Akin Ayodele and several members of the DFW FCA staff sharing their Christmas stories. I'm Chris Schneider, the Sports and Spirit Speaker. You can find me at radioactivespeaking.com. Godly messages with stories from the greatest coaches and athletes of all time. Find me, the Sports and Spirit Speaker, at radioactivespeaking.com. Next week's show will air on New Year's Day. Our guests will be Big 12 Conference Commissioner Bob Bowlesby and USA Olympian Johnny Quinn. Guests scheduled to join us in future weeks include Raymond Berry, Dan Reeves, Mike Singletary, Herschel Walker, and many others. FCA's Faith in Sports is an outreach of DFW Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Hosted and produced by me, Chris Schneider. Executive producer is Rick Bowles. For information on DFW FCA, contact Rick at rbowles, that's BOWLES, at FCA.org. And remember this week to do all that you do unto the Lord Jesus Christ. God bless you. From the DFW Fellowship of Christian Athletes, Faith in Sports.